For this video, we're going to be talking about the time my oven went into flames. You guys might have seen the short video already, but if you haven't, it's basically when my mom was gonna use the oven, and as she was about to put the food inside, as soon as she opened the oven, the flames just got worse. Before we get into detail with what happened and everything, if this is your first time watching me, then hello to you, my name is Eric, and thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more story times. Now let's get on with the story. So this happened in November of 2021, and the sad part is this actually happened on a Thanksgiving night. Basically, my mom was preparing a bunch of food. She was preparing lasagna and steak, and there's some other ones that I just didn't include in the short just because it's just like, I feel like it would be too much text to put on. But she was preparing a lot of food, and that time I believe I was taking like online classes and stuff, so I had like a lot of work to do. From what I remember, I went into the kitchen and I saw my mom cooking, and I was like, oh, what you making? Because you know, like I didn't eat much that day, and I was like kind of hungry, and also it's like almost nighttime anyway, so I'm like, oh, what you cooking? She was like, oh, I'm preparing the steak and lasagna for us tonight to celebrate Thanksgiving. I know people usually have turkey to eat that night for Thanksgiving, but for us, we didn't really like, I don't know, for us Thanksgiving is mainly just like preparing food, having everyone sit down together on the dining table. Because honestly, in my family, we don't even sit down together to eat dinner or lunch or anything like that. We kind of just like grab food, go to the room, eat, and then stuff, you know? I don't know if it's just a me thing, but that's how we do it here. So once she said that she was preparing food for us tonight, aka steak and lasagna, I asked her if she needed help with anything, and she was like, no, she'll be fine. I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah. So then I was really tired that day, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna quickly take a nap, and I guess just call me whenever it's ready. So I went into my room, and at this house I also shared my room with my grandma just because like we want to like make sure that she's fine at all times, and like if anything happens, I'll be there to like quickly react and stuff. So I shared room with her, and that time I actually slept in my grandma's bed because she always tells me to like go sleep in her bed instead of my bed, because my bed is like on like the higher up because it's like on a bunk bed, and her bed is way bigger than mine anyway. So she was like, oh, take a nap here. I was like, oh, okay. So then I took a nap there, and at this time my grandma was like watching YouTube like on the side of the bed while I took a nap, and she would like go in and out to like check on my mom, and like whenever she like needs water and stuff, so she would go in and out of the room. And I remember at one point I heard like the smoke alarm go off, and I was like slightly waking up. I was just like, oh, it's probably like just the cooking. So I like continued napping. Like I know I should have like reacted, but I continued napping. Next thing I heard is my mom scream. She was like, ah. When you hear your parents scream, it's just like, it's not a good feeling to hear your parents scream like in a bad way. I heard her scream, so then I woke up, and at this point my grandma is not in the room, so I'm assuming she was with my mom in the kitchen. So I got up, and when I opened the door, I see that the hallway going to the kitchen is like full of smoke. It's not like you can't see, it's just like you can see like haziness a little bit, and like it's just like smoky, you know? So I ran there. When I got to the kitchen, it was like I see like a little bit of flames left, even though apparently what my mom told me is that it's much worse than when I came into the room already. And when I saw the oven, it was just like sparking underneath. I don't know, it's so weird. It's like sparking underneath, and like luckily it didn't like explode or anything, just because I know that's like gas in there somewhere and stuff. I don't really know how like the pipes of the oven operate. And also like our sink and like just the entire kitchen and half of like the living room as well was like all like covered in ash. This ash, by the way, is not from the fire. It's just from the fire extinguisher. Like if you guys have used a fire extinguisher before, it like bursts out this like white ash to like help out like put out the fire. By the way, I'm sorry if I don't know like what's inside the fire extinguisher. I'm just, you know, like I don't use fire extinguisher on a daily basis. But so then I grabbed the fire extinguisher, and I kind of just helped with putting out the fire as much as we could. And at that time my mom was also calling 911. I don't know, it was so weird because I don't think I've ever seen anyone call 911, like at least like anyone in my family. So I think that's my mom's first time too. So then we called 911, and she told me that they're coming in like 3 to 5 minutes, because I think there's like a firefighter like house thingy like near my house, so it was like 3 to 5 minutes. And also I live in New York City, so if you know New York City, it's always traffic, crazy traffic. So 3 to 5 minutes is actually really fast. So then at this point while we're waiting, the sparks is still there, but at least the fire is not as huge as when it started. It was like a huge like flame inside the oven. At this point it's just like something sparking underneath, and we just don't know what it is. I didn't take a video, and I know a lot of people in the comment section of my YouTube shorts of that video are saying like, how did you even take a video? Like, aren't you supposed to be like, like that's true, like, and I don't know honestly. And I've been making videos for like over 10 years now, 11 12 years now. It's just, I feel like it's just my instinct. I don't know, I'm just like really fast at like recording stuff, I guess. Even in the past, if we had like house problems, like let's say like the ceiling's leaking and stuff, I would easily pull up my phone and record right away like that. I think it's just like how I am, I don't know. But just to be clear, I did help out putting out the fire while we wait for the firefighters to come. So then the firefighters come. When they came in, they checked into the oven and they disconnected it safely so that the spark would just stop. At the same time, they were asking my mom and all of us like, oh, how did this happen? Like, what did you do? And we just told them that we started off the oven and we were like preheating the oven. Once my mom opened the oven, the flame just kind of like just bursted out like that. It's not as huge that it would like reach like other parts of the kitchen. It's like the size of like the oven, but when we opened it, it was like kind of like sipping out a little bit, like the fire, but not enough to like actually cause like damages on the outside, if that makes sense. So we just closed it and then opened it, put the fire extinguisher in it, close it again. And as the firefighters were disconnecting the oven, they found out that one of the pipes underneath the oven, I don't know how many pipes there are, but they said that one of the pipes of the oven was actually broken and it was like cracked or something, and apparently that's where the fire was starting up. So we were just like really shocked. Luckily everyone was safe and no one got hurt, nothing got burnt down. Only thing was that my entire living room and kitchen was like full of fire extinguisher ash. You know, that's fine. Like, I'm just glad that no one got hurt at that time. The ashes you could easily clean. Something else, I don't even want to think about it. So right after that, the firefighters left and we have a disconnected oven now, and mind you, this is Thanksgiving night. At this point it was like at 8 p.m. or at this point, it was like at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. already. This is when we're supposed to eat dinner. Literally, we have nothing. We have like unprepared lasagna and steak on top of our stove, and it's just covered in ash. So what we did is that we slightly cleaned up the stuff. We threw out the lasagna, the steak. It was so sad. We ended up just ordering something outside. I think we either got like Jollibee or like... I know it was like a Filipino food, but it was most likely Jollibee. It was like the spaghetti. If you're familiar with Jollibee, we got like the spaghetti, beef steak, rice, of course. By the way, on the YouTube shorts, if you watched the story time for that one, I didn't mention that it was a Thanksgiving night, but it is a Thanksgiving night, which is way more sad, and I don't want to make that YouTube short way more sad than it is already. So that night we also told our landlord, because we were renting on like apartment complex, we told the landlord that, oh, this oven you provided us is just, it almost set the house on fire. He was like, okay, I'm gonna go change it the next day. And the next day we have a new oven, much safer oven, newer oven, and yeah, we just carry on with our days, I guess. So that's the story of how our oven went into flames. I don't know if you guys want me to do more of these like in-depth, detailed story times of like my shorts, because if you're subscribed, you probably know that I do a lot of story times, and most of these story times are actual real stories of what happened in my life, and I have too many stories that are like weird, and for some of them even unbelievable that it did even happen. So that's it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. If you guys want me to do more of these in the future, then let me know in the comments as well, and I'll be reading your responses. If you have a TikTok, Instagram, and all of those stuff, then my socials are just LifeWithErick. Be sure to follow me there, and I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Okay, bye.